everybody, this is Tamela Mann, and you're hanging out with Grown Folks Music.
GrownFolksMusic.com.
Tamela Mann, welcome back to GrownFolksMusic.com. You have a new album, Overcomer.
I do. I'm so excited about it. Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I want to thank you for the Help Me video. And thank you for so beautifully and wonderfully suggesting that the people of God can be believers and go to therapy at the same time. Can you talk about why you set up the video treatment that way and why you wanted to do your video that way?
Okay, for me, the help was also with my son, David Jr., because we were talking about the video and I was giving my ideas. And he was like, Mom, I have this idea for you to talk to a therapist. And I was like, a therapist? He was like, yes. He was like, Mom, we know that our help comes from God and we can go to the church, but we need to encourage people that it's okay to go and sit down and talk to somebody. And I was like, yes. I said, that is a great idea. And even so, we just, we kind of collaborated together, and he had that portion, and then mine was when I came, like, you busting in the doors of the church, was like, hey, I'm crying out for help. I really need y'all to hear me. And so we did it together. And as even we were scoping out the old building that we were in, this church is from Mansfield, where we live. But it was like a church that's been there since I was a little girl growing up. And now they're getting ready to tear it down because they built like a new church. And they was like, y'all kind of we were like right on time before they getting ready to tear it down. And I was like, I wanted the old feel. And David was like, Mom, I want to come from the 80s. And we just want to encourage people that it's okay to ask for help. It doesn't make you crazy, because in our community, it's been shunned upon for so many years that, about us just asking for help. You crazy if you say you're going to a therapist or see a psychiatrist, but it's not. That doesn't mean that. So sometimes you just need another outlet. We know where our help comes from, God, but sometimes we need some earthly help. So that's how we came up with that treatment for Help Me. And it's really been blessing me, because I normally don't even read a lot of the reviews on it, but so many young people have been saying that they were in stress and needing help with just things in their lives, and that the song has really helped them. And that's what it's all about. If we help one person, that's what it's all about.
Let's talk about the rest of the album. Last time we talked about bridging the gap with genres and between generations. And so last time you worked with Timbaland, and this time you're working with Wyclef. Talk about how that came together.
Well, I was talking to Kirk Franklin, who was producing another song for me that's coming down the pipe here soon, as well. And I told him I wanted to do a Caribbean song, and it happened like a couple days later. He had an interview with him, and he was saying this chant of saying, "Hello, God," and he was like, man, and he called me back. He said, Tam, I think I have your Caribbean song. And he asked Wyclef, he was like, I need that song for my sister and Tamela. And he asked if he heard of me, and he was like, yes. And he was like, I want us to connect. So he connected David and myself, Kirk did, and we talked to him, and he was like, I'm in. I was raised in the church, and he said, I know about this. I had no idea that he was raised in the church. And for him to just give his Caribbean the idea of how they praise God and worship, and for us to just put that together was like amazing for me, for that to happen and to come together. I was like, to me, it's my happy song, because it just, you wake up in the morning and you just think, well, I want to give thanks and just say, hello, God, thank you, Lord, for another day. And that's how that song came about. And I think it's so relevant. It's like right now to bring some joy to people and to inspire you to just give thanks back to God, just for waking us up, just for a new day.
Talk about the rest of the album. There seems to be an overall theme of encouragement and standing on faith. Do you have a favorite track? I know that's like asking a favorite child. Do you have a favorite track that encourages
Wait,
you?
sometimes we do. We love them all, but sometimes some things stand out. And for me, the album helped me. And another song is called He Did It For Me. Came from a place of, did an interview with this young lady, and then I got word back, and the question was, why is everything coming to me? You know, meaning like with TV and with the music things seem to be happening. And when I heard it, it really pricked my heart. And every time I talk about it, it brings my eyes to tears because it's no goodness of my own. You know, it's just the gift that God gave me. You know, and when I took on the charge of doing for others, helping people and encouraging people as much as I know how. And I'm like, Lord, what do you mean? Why is it coming to me? I'm like, God did this. I didn't do it. You know, it's like He's making the way, and I'm just the vessel. I'm just wanting to be used in any way I can to help as many as I can. And for someone to think that it just fell in my lap, it hadn't been. You know, I've been struggling for a long time, and even now to just with interviews sometimes to even just to speak of good things and of the gospel, it's hard to even get a door open to just even with our marriage being a happy marriage. If we were playing off on each other and fighting, you know, we could get an interview, but we can't get on national television just to say that we're happily married. We can't, you know, it's like it's not accepted unless you're doing bad. And I'm just happy that God did it for me. And if we could all just think from a personal place of the things, looking at from your then to now, how He's done and made ways for us. He's did it for us as you for you too as well. Yeah, that we can overcome, that we can conquer, because a lot of us feel like we at a stumbling block or at a hurdle that we can't seem to cross and jump over. But by God being our source and our strength, we can overcome anything. I mean, with His help, we can, any mountain to me can be removed. He's the healer that we need right now to heal the land and to show us what to do, how to get through this thing. And I just, I know right now for me, that I'm sent to be an encourager to everyone that I can, that you can make it, and that it's not too late until we're dead. We're not dead, and we still have a voice, and there's still love and mercy in the earth, and we can reach as many people if we just allow ourselves to show mercy and to be graceful and show grace to other people. I think we all can just really overcome all of this.
How have you been encouraged during this time? What encourages you, especially as we go through a global pandemic and all the quarantine and the things that we've experienced this last year? What encourages you as you encourage others?
You, you know what? I think it's to let people know that they're not alone. And for me to be able to tell somebody that you're not standing alone, you're not the only one who who is having a hard time or going through a rock and a hard place right now. You know, I think it's just me being able to give and to be able to give somebody a smile and how you doing, even though I may have on a mask, but my eyes is open wide, like, hey, and you know, I'm used to hugging and touching people just to be able to give as much as I can. And I feel like music is that way to get to people's hearts because music penetrates when nothing else can. It's like when you can't move and you can hear it, even for the people that can't hear it, but they hear the beat, just like they can feel the vibration. It like it brings joy. And I just feel like right now, I want to be able to bring as much joy and happiness. So that's what's gotten me through is to be able to give something back to somebody else. That's what's helped me through this pandemic, is to be able to share, sow a seed where I can, even to small Black businesses and boutiques, just to buy something. I may not even need it. I can't go nowhere, but I just want to be able to give and to help in any way that I can.
You mentioned Kirk Franklin earlier, and I'd like to ask you about Kirk Franklin and Tyler Perry because those have been two people who have been very instrumental in your career for, I guess, a couple of decades or at least over a
It
decade.
has been.
So, talk about those two and how they have helped in the development of your career. And if you have any fun stories to share, we love those too.
Well, one thing I can say, and it happened in another interview today. This has been, I'm crying. I'm about to cry. But this has been very emotional for me today, how the question was asked, how they have been so influential in my life. And it starts with with three men, my husband, David, who's been my number one supporter. For me to have been and worked with Kirk and known him for over 30 years, and for him to help my career come, for us to reconnect, and for him to give my career another boot, for him to believe in me, for Tyler Perry to believe in me, and to see things in me that I didn't see in myself. I am just so grateful, first and foremost, for them trusting me and seeing something in me that I didn't know that was there. And I actually texted them today after that interview, and I went into David's closet and I was like, I just want to thank you for what you've done by believing in me, pushing me when I didn't want to be pushed, for you telling me that I can when I didn't think I could. And the same thing with these other guys. It's just like, it's kind of like I didn't really have a natural father. I had people in my life, like my uncle acted as a father for me, and to just encourage me as a young woman to love myself and to push me along. But for these men to help me build my career, build who I am today, I hate to just be boohooing, but I have a grateful heart. They're grateful tears that I'm shedding because they didn't have to. But again, God did it for me. He put people in my way. He put people in my way to help me accomplish and push the go and push, and reach goals that I never thought I could have. And I'm the youngest of 14. I'm the only one that graduated from high school. I mean, it's like things that I've accomplished. Even, my mom, uh, soon as we took off with Kirk Franklin, my mom, I ain't gonna say encountered, I don't know how, but she came back with Alzheimer's. So she never really got to see my career take off. I never got to spoil her. That now that I got some few pennies, as people would say, to do things for her that I would have loved to just splurge my mom like I'm able to do for my mother-in-law. But Tyler and Kirk has really been a great blessing in my life. And I'm just so happy for the opportunity to work with them. They are both characters that we laugh and we have like jokes. And, I always call Tyler, and because I can't do it around everybody, but since we have a friendship, I'll call him and say, I don't cuss, but I say the N word. I do. Forgive me, guys, but I do. I say the N word, and I'll be like, "Hey, Mr. Nick," I'll just call him, and it tickles him because I don't curse. He always trying to get me to cuss, and I'm like, Tyler, I don't cuss. But and with Kurt, it's always like a joke for us to just cut up. Like if we get in the studio, we're gonna laugh and talk for hours and hours of just about just different stories of us being kids and all of us piling up in a little Chevette that I had, and it was a hatchback car. He was the smallest one, so we would always throw him in the back. So it's just a blessing to be a blessing, and then have people around you that now we still been loving God and serving God, and we're still in our careers and we're able to push each other along. So whenever he called me, I'm like, to either one of them, it's always a yes. I don't care what I'm doing. I'm gonna stop doing what I'm doing to make it happen for whatever they need to happen. And they've done the same for me. And I really love all three of these guys. I was saying if I could have a Mount Rushmore, those three guys would be a part of my Mount Rushmore. And plus my uncle that was acted as a father for me. So I'm just really grateful to have him in my life, and to have them to push even with this album, that we were letting them hear it along the way, and they were giving me different thoughts and everything, because I just incorporate them in everything, me and David do. Okay, I know I made that long, I'm sorry. But it, I'm I don't know. I feel like this with them.
That's a great story and
We're tight knit.
a great testimony. I'd like to take it over to a lighter side, if I might. Last time,
Okay, I won't
last,
cry no more. I promise.
last time I talked to you, I had to tell you about your hair. I had to comment on your hair, and now I just want to say that you look amazing.
Well,
Amazing.
thank you.
And I see
Thank
that
you.
you have teamed up with Weight Watchers. I see you have teamed up with a stylist, and you are beat and snatched for Jesus and style for Jesus. I
Thank
just
you.
have to tell you, you look amazing. Talk
Thank
about
you.
the partnership with Weight Watchers, how you came into that, and you just leveled up on us. You look
Well,
amazing.
I did that. Well, I'm no longer with them, but they were a part of the journey this past 2 years of my life that I thank them for what they bring, and it does work for those who are watching. If you need a push, that was my help. That's
Mhm.
what the song "Help Me" came from, because I realized that I was in a place in my life that I couldn't do it on my own, and to have a coach, have somebody encouraging me and let me, kind of to guide me along the way. Because when we were raised, we were just taught to eat what's in front of you, and that was it. Mom fixed. She didn't understand that two or three starches on one plate is not good. You were just eating what was in the kitchen. So I just want us to be better, and I'm just trying to be a better encourager. Like when I get off this phone, I'm going to the gym. So it's like I'm just trying to, I had fell off for a minute, but it was like I gotta do it. So that's where the finished work comes from in the album, and finishing to stay focused and complete these tasks that I've started. And I have said to myself, and I'm saying to you and the other ones that are watching and listening, that we can overcome. That's where Overcomer came from. It's a day by day process that we can conquer this thing and making better decisions for our lives, period. Just not with food, but just things that we are dealing with and working through, and, and working for, that with God's help, we can soar. We can soar, and because He's our source and our strength.
My last question for you is, what is your definition of grown folks music?
Grown folk music is, I would say, good old clean love music. When I did the love project with me and David did it, actually, it just gave me a whole nother outlook of love, and for the man that I love and that I'm in love with, my spouse, that he my Superman. So to be able to sing to him that he completes me, that's grown folks music. Somebody to help complete you, that's good and grown.
Before we go, shout it out. And what that means is you get to tell us all things Tamela Mann. You get to tell us if you have a website, your social media platforms, and where we can buy or stream and download the album Overcomer.
Overcomer. You can download it any digital outlets. Can y'all do me a favor that I can't do by myself? I need your help, is to help Mama and Amy and them, the ones who don't know how to download, because since we're moving on to streams, I need everyone's help to make this happen, because gospel music cannot die. We need to keep encouraging people that we can make it, but I need your help to make it happen. But you can follow us at David and Tamela. That's for our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And I got a new TikTok. It's called The Real Tamela Man. Y'all check it out. I just started. It's gonna be funny, but I'm also gonna be trying to give some encouraging words on there on some days to help lift us all up, me and you. So you can follow us at, and also on YouTube, you can go to Man TV for our Man TV channel, and that's about the family, and we'll just talk about different things that we deal with in our family and your family, and we can laugh about it. So that's how you, and also Tamela Man collection, go to tamelaman.com. That's for our thick ladies, sizes 12 to 32. It's at leisure clothing, like comfortable, nice and cute and comfy. Got some new things coming, so check that out, tamelaman.com. Thank y'all so much. I love you. And that's Tamela Man.
We love you. Thank you so much, Tamela Mann, for your time. God bless you and
Thank you,
everything that you're
grown folks. I
doing.
like that, grown folks.
Thank you so much. All the best with everything.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Y'all have a blessed one. Don't forget, we're all overcomers.
GrownFolksMusic.com